Hey everyone, welcome back to the bench. And in this basic skills video, I thought we'd cover flush cutters. Probably the most important tool in your arsenal, and also probably the most misunderstood tool for beginners right at the start. But before we move on, I'd just like to remind you, if you are really enjoying these free workshops, please head on over to my Patreon and give me some support. It will help me keep making these videos and carry on. But also remember, please like and subscribe and follow on. Right, should we crack on and get on with it? So not much of a tool talk today, seeing as we've only got one tool to talk about, and that's flush cutters. So like I've said in my previous tools video, flush cutters are the most important tool in your arsenal. This is where I recommend you spend your money. There's lots of different makes out there. What make to buy? I can't really tell you. Find the one that works for you. Start off with, go with Beadsmith. That's what I did. They're the affordable range. And if you feel like wire wrapping is for you and want to spend some money, then I'd be looking at Tronix or Lindstrom, especially Tronix. Tronix really excel in their flush cutters. They really do. That's how I found them. I started with their flush cutters and then bought the rest of their tools. So this is not an advert just for Tronix, because Tronix are quite expensive. I do know that. I do apologise that they are, but they are really good. So when buying flush cutters, I recommend you get two. You got the smaller ones, and these are for the finer wires. They're from like your 1mm, 18 gauge, and finer downwards. Now I recommend having a slightly larger pair of flush cutters for the heavier gauge wires when you're looking 18 gauge and lower. So very important to have these. The reason being, I've learnt my lessons hard. I have ruined many of these flush cutters, not so much Tronix because they're well made, but especially Beadsmith flush cutters. I ruined them by cutting too thick a wire, and yeah, some of them actually broke on me and the tips would fly off. So be very aware that you only cut 1mm and 18 gauge below, and get yourself some heavy gauge flush cutters for the the larger gauges. Now, just another warning to everybody out there. Now, it'd be tempted at some point that your partner who you live with will want to borrow your tools to do something. Don't let them have these, or her. Do not let them go anywhere near them. These are your flush cutters for wire only. If you start cutting other things with them, especially like a hardened, tougher wire, you can dent these. You can break them. I've had this many times with students in the past telling me their husbands have borrowed their tools and ruined their flush cutters completely. So yeah, nobody touch these. They are yours. Do not let anybody mess them up, because you need them to work properly when you need them. So you can lend the other tools out. That's all right. But these ones are a no-no. Keep them to yourselves. Right, let's move on and let's have a look at how flush cutters work. Let's go over to close-up cam. As you can see, with flush cutters, they have two sides. They have this flat side, and often they have a side that's a V. Now, it's important that you take note of this, because whenever someone or myself or anybody else, any tutorial or workshop you're following, and they say you need to flush cut your wires, you need to come in with the flat end. Well, let me show you here. I've got a piece of 1mm wire here, 18 gauge. So I'm just coming, and you're looking to get a nice right angle, if you can. Sometimes you can't always quite get the right angle, but that's what you're aiming for. You're aiming for a right angle with the flat side in towards the wire you want to keep. Getting rid of that bit, you want to keep this bit. So, and you just, there we go, it's a better picture. And I'm just going to cut them there. Lost that piece. And as you can see, it leaves you with a nice flat end there. That's what we call a flush cut end. Let me just turn them over and cut from the other side so you can see what's left behind. There we go. Oh, there we go. It's a good shot. Now you can see the point. You can see it's it's not nice. It's a horrible, sharp point. It's not flat at all. And that's what you're trying to avoid with flush cutters. This is the mistake everybody makes from the start, is by not realizing that when you use a flush cutter, it does two different things. So this is what you're trying to avoid. You don't want this, because this is the thing that gets caught in clothing, scratches skin. So let me flush cut that off. Let's get rid of that. So I'm going to come in at a right angle. And there we go. You see? Nice, clean, flat finish. That's how flush cutters work. So let me just go over to a jump ring here. Let me get a jump ring out, because this really shows perfectly. So we all know how to make a jump ring. Well, I'm hoping you do by now. I might do a quick video on them. But anyway, here's a quick how to make a jump ring. So I've made a coil. So a tempted thing to do, what I find a lot of my students would do, would want to get a jump ring. So they come straight across the two. There we go. Trim off, you got a jump ring. But if you look closely at the ends, see? There we go. One flush cut, one not flush cut. Now that's a common mistake I see. Go around craft fairs. Go around jewellery shows where you got a lot of hobbyists. Look at their jump rings. You will see this. It's that, all that is misunderstanding how flush cutters work. So be aware of it. It's very important. Now, I don't mean to go around and check everybody's work when I go to craft shows, but I am a jeweler. I make this stuff. I can't help but look at your skills. When I'm looking at it, I don't mean to judge, but I do. And jump rings is one of the places I do judge. So it's a very basic skill from the start. You're not looking for that. So let's quickly go over to the jump rings again. How to avoid that when creating jump rings. So you got your little coil here. You can see there already we've got a sharp point. So we're gonna flush cut that off. So I'm gonna flush cut in, like so. Gone. I'm gonna pull the jump rings apart just a little bit enough. I'm gonna turn them round, and then I'm gonna flush cut in. So there we go. You can see. There we go. The flat end in. Obviously making sure I line up with the other end. Like so. There we go. Two nice flush cut ends. Are ready for soldering as well. A little bit of sandering. You can solder those two together. But there we go. It's a really good example. Flush cut. Let me get the other one. Now you can see the two of them together. There you go. See one with the point, one flush cut. Massive difference. Don't want that. Bye-bye. That's what you're after. Simple. But yeah, just be aware. Flush cutters. Understand them. So there you go. Flush cutters. A tool that can be very easily misunderstood from the start. So please go practice some jump rings. Go do what I've just done, and then you'll see for yourself what I mean. So you might have not been using flush cutters properly. You might have been. But please heed my warning. Do not let anybody use them. They are yours and yours alone. Do not let anybody touch your flush cutters, especially when you buy Tronics, because they are expensive. Nice one, people. Look forward to seeing you in the next skills video. Take care. To support this channel and help me keep making more videos, please come on over to join my Patreon, where you'll get early access to all my videos, free downloads of my books and tutorials, and entries into my giveaways and more.